Have you ever received a notice of a class action settlement in the mail or a settlement check in the mail and wondered if it was a scam? My name is Chris Roberts. I'm a consumer class action lawyer. I've been a class action attorney for over a decade, and today we're going to answer this question. A lot of times people will come to me and say, "Hey, Chris, I received this notice of a class action settlement in the mail or received a check I wasn't expecting. Is this real or is this a scam?" So the easy way to determine if the notice of the settlement is real is typically on that settlement there will be a link to a settlement website. The settlement website I would encourage all of you to go to because it will break down in plain English, non-legalese, what the case is about, why you might be part of the settlement, and what you can get as part of that settlement. It'll also tell you if you have to submit a claim to get payment, how you can go about doing that. So typically, if you get one of these notices of settlement in the mail, go to the settlement website. However, sometimes there may be an unlikely event where a settlement website is not set up. Typically, in that circumstance, the notice may have a case number on it. It may be a federal court case number or a state court case number. And so what you can do is, for example, it's a federal court case number, you can search on what's called PACER to find that case to see if it's a legitimate case. Now, checks are a little bit different because sometimes there have been scams out there where people get checks in the mail and they want them to be cashed so that they can access your bank account information. So you have to be more careful about the checks. So when you get a check in the mail, typically when you receive that payment, there will also be something at the top of the check. So the check's typically perforated on the bottom of the paper, and at the top of that check will be actually a letter from the settlement administrator. It'll identify themselves, it'll usually identify the name of the case, and it'll identify the case number, and usually it will also have the contact information for the settlement administrator. So what you can do before you cash that check, just to make sure it's not a scam and it's a legitimate thing, is again, you can go to the settlement website, but also reach out to the settlement administrator, shoot them an email, call them. They're usually very, very responsive if you get a good one, and they will be able to tell you whether or not that check is legitimate. So hopefully this answers your questions about whether or not a class action settlement you get in the mail or a class action settlement check is real or if it's a scam. Thanks so much for watching.